and doesn't mess up and double ult a lot of the time. And I think that is down to communication between Slur and Gustav all the way. Orgs and Hungry, on the other hand, they're playing for experience right here. They know that they're bottom of the pack right now. It's not quite good enough for them. They have these weird comps that they do play, but I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. It's DPS. It's self-sufficient DPS with one tank.
Well, the one thing about Control, it kind of lends itself to a little bit of variety with these comps, and this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see GOATs go up against different comps. I think the more variety is always good, but Orgless and Hungry going to be rocking that Ashe and that Wrecking Ball, who has seen a lot more play recently as that solo main tank. Let's see if we're going to see heading to get any success with that for Orgless and Hungry, who are on the point right now. Shoes Money Crew still kind of deciding how they want to attack this Blink.
Yeah, they have to switch it up here. They make the switch of the Sombra. I like that switch. It pretty much shuts down Henningsen. If he does get too close in, he gets the hack immediately. But there's the engage.
Yeah, the pile drive's not really going to do it much, but Kagasi doing some work with that Pharah, like almost really close to that barrage. That's going to be a really good way to stop Shoes Money Crew on aggressing onto the objective. We're only 5% away, but a nice hack is going to drop the Pharah right down to the ground. What a gravity tragedy that is, but it's not going to be a full tragedy for Kagasi as he's able to get back out with that rocket barrage. He's going to unleash, trying to go for the Moira, unable to get there, but does get mounts in the end.
Yeah, that fight is kind of cleaned up. They had a lot of time to do a Kegasai there in the air, but they just didn't quite go for it in the end. Slur, he had the Coalesce, and I think that was the main thing that I was banking on in that fight. I was like, okay, he gets the Coalescence, he's going to pressure down the Mercy and the Pharah. It's too little too late by that point. I think they had a short window of time where the hack came through on the Kegasai, and they had to make basically a big splash in that moment. They just didn't.
Yep, the hack, fell onto alive hands, really, as Slur is going to be taken down. And Slur's on that Moira to really pressure that Sombra. So when that Moira is not going to be there, it's going to be a lot easier for that Sombra to get that information and get some good positioning to get up to that EMP and absolutely wreck Shoes Money Crew, who have already given up 62%, Blink.
Yeah, Shoes Money Crew, I'm pretty much going to lose the next fight as well. As I'm telling you this now, they got a and then EMP, they kind of have to just walk into this.
Yeah, this is what we call a junk rush or a dry push when a team goes into it knowing that they're going to lose that round. And that's exactly what we're seeing. There is a nice consolation kill for Shoes Money Crew. I believe one of the first that we've seen in the entire round so far, but we are now in one fight territory.
Yeah, it's the last fight now. Polly, he's got the EMP on board. So is Leoded. There's going to be a barrage coming as well as a Bob. So I'm pretty sure whoever gets the best EMP first wins this fight. But Slur going down like that is not good whatsoever. There's no Mercy res here either.
Yeah, that's brutal. That means that they're going to have to wait. The hack's going to get Kagasai out of the sky. The rock barrage is canceled. This is going to give Orgless and Hungry, a little bit of a harder time defending. And we're seeing that happen right now. Really? EMP comes through, hacks too, but that's not going to be enough for Shoes Money Crew. Blake, you're saying really? What is really about it?
Oh my god, they got away. Shoes Money Crew actually winning this fight. Gustav now has the sound barrier as well, so you should need it. Drops it now. Mouse at the Graviton out.
And so he's going to get hacked. No Wrecking Ball for them as Shoes Money Crew really pulling this thing back. Is this going to be the opportunity they have to grab this objective? So far, Orgless and Hungry are still maintaining a presence right here. They are at 99%, so if they're able to get some picks, they could potentially come back, but no, Shoes Money Crew do take it in the end.
Some flashy plays from Barbecue, and we were discussing earlier how we'd not seen too much flashy plays out of him, but he's showing up now today as he bunks the Ashe on the head as well, and she's down. But that fight comes down to the fact that Ruby goes down so early in the fight. You lose your main heals, you only have Mercy to hold on to. Odds Hungry, they make some switches up. They go on to this floats composition with the Winston. This is all about getting in the front line, getting that projected barrier onto the Winston, creating space. Shoes Money Crew, they've got a little lead on ultimates though, so it's going to be tough for Orgless.
Let's see how long that lead is going to stay, though, as they need to win a bunch of fights in a row. Barbie actually taken very low at the beginning of this fight, but a kill onto Ruby means that there's going to be no Harmony Orb and Discord Orb for Orgless and Hungry, but there is a trade on the other side, so Winston is down with that Primal Rage. Shoes Money Crew might really want that back. Let's see if JKLOT's going to be able to get back into this fight. Polly getting another kill means Orgless and Hungry are looking to reset. They've got the time.
Yeah, this is actually a very efficient fight for Shoes Money Crew. They don't have to use the EMP there, and Orgless just basically have to back out on the fact that Ruby goes down. They don't have any of that Discord pressure anymore, which means as soon as JK gets back, it's going to be tough for them to deal with them.
And the Sombra is scouting out that information. Polly's looking for that moment for that EMP is now going to be it. The EMP, the Graviton Surge has been brought out, and a self-destruct is going to come as well. Good hack, like you said, but the other thing that Shoes Money Crew did, again, was use what they needed. They didn't overinvest.
Absolutely. They only have the Graviton self-destruct, and that's a clean bill of health to a fight. You just win it there and then, right? It's over. So you get to keep your ultimate economy. Now you come to this one versus a Sound Barrier and an EMP. Orgless Hungry, they've got to make their self-destruct Graviton sequence perfect here.
What a comeback so far for Shoes Money Crew at a huge ultimate disadvantage, but now they have that EMP, which is a fight and round ender. The EMP is going to happen very early, and it's going to hit 3, but all 3 of those members do have ultimate, so that's not going to be available. And then a regular old hack onto the Winston means that he's not going to have that primal rage for the time being as well, and he's going to go down before the hack does end. This is a great fight for Choose Money Crew so far. They should win this out in the end. Orgless trying so hard to come back to the point with that Graviton surge. Orgless and Hungry need to stall this out as long as possible, but Choose Money Crew are trying to make sure that they don't. Miles going back means that there's a little bit of hope for Orgless and Hungry, as the point did flip back into Choose Money Crew's favor, but right now Orgless and Hungry having a really hard time keeping the bodies on the point blank.
And eat as well at the end on Berkland. The Graviton doesn't go through, and Barbecue ends it there and then, but we've got to give it to Polly there, Pooh. At the beginning of that fight, the only way that I saw them winning that was if the EMP came through early and it hit onto crucial targets like Bergden, like Leo Deads, and it slows down the combo, right? You can't get out the Graviton self-destruct sequence if you hack, quite obviously. And they focus fire Berglund down, Graviton's out of the fight, and then it's just clean up crew from there. Leo Deads just kind of has to throw his self-destruct sequence in and hope it finds everyone. It doesn't. Choose Money Crew clean. Now,
how do you think the support so far have been playing Blank, by the way? Because we've talked about Slurp, we're talking about Polly now on that EMP is on the brig this time.
Yeah, I think the Choose Money Crew have a pretty good grasp of how they want to play. One thing that I would like to see a little bit out of Orgless Hungry. Obviously, Ruby's a new addition to the team, but he has died the quickest out of all of them, pretty much immediately every single fight. So perhaps play a little bit safer here, especially when Choose Money Crew are playing such an aggressive composition with the Winston and the Sombra. You've got to be careful.
Time on the field, definitely a statistic that Ruby not really winning at this point in time.
Yeah.
As Choose Money Crew did flip all the way back. We're down 99-0 and do win out that round in at the end. That's exactly the type of play you want to see of these teams trying to get the Contenders. If you want to put yourself at the top, you got to do that. You got to do that when it matters, and that's exactly what Choose Money Crew did. But that's the pass. We are right here on Ruins, and we're seeing Kagase on the Pharaoh once again. We saw some success with that, but definitely got colder as the round went through. Choose Money Crew decided to learn how to deal with this Pharaoh, as Barbie's going to go ahead and grab her from the air. Barbie, one of the only ones that can truly compete against that Pharaoh. That's going to be the only good thing for Choose Money Crew's fight so far, outside of the fact that they do get some free percentage.
Yeah, and it's really well played from Kagasai as well. I like the way he maneuvered in this fight, basically kept himself out of harm's way until Barbecue eventually came from him. But he was pressuring Slur the entire time, making sure he didn't get that coalescence immediately, and his team wasn't getting healed. And that's the most important thing, because then all the DPS on the side of Orgless Hungry can just start to pick up those kills here and there where players are starting to go low. We saw that across the board as Choose Money Crew.
Ooh, you thought for a second that Berglund might be able to pull the trigger and get Sombra, but the translocator is going to happen. You know, it's funny, there's just this feeling you get when you know the Widow's about to pop that head. Because all you have to do is click head, foreheads, right?
Obviously, yeah, it's all you need to do. There's still some skill to it, as Miles is showing us there. Finds Tang already.
And so without that Mercy, Choose Money Crew had a huge advantage for this fight so far. Orgless and Hungry, though, have surpassed Choose Money Crew in that percentage, but there's a nice, really good return kill, this time on a Mouse from Berglund's Widow. And now he's just trying to pepper damage into the rest of Choose Money Crew's. The pile drive into the backline, not really going to get much, as Choose Money Crew continuing on at this point. Polly was hacked, and is going to have to go back to spawn. Orgless and Hungry look like they're going to pull this out.
Yeah, for sure. Really, what I would expect Choose Money Crew to do here is possibly play something Reinhardt's oriented. We do know that JK loves to play this Winston, but I think you can play Reinhardt Goats with basically the Sombra on board instead of the Diva, and still do as much work against Orgless Crew. Right now, they're just splitting them, dividing and conquering quickly and easily.
And Orgless and Hungry, though, are going to lose their Mercy very early on. We thought that was a bad thing last time, but they were able to bring that back. It is a 5v5 on the objective right now, as a Sleep and a Hack are going to layer on top of each other, so not a ton of value there, other than the kill. Choose Money Crew are going to have the numbers advantage for a little bit longer, as Slur is going to do what we know he can do on Zenyatta, on Moira, whatever he plays. He can frag.
What? The Quadra? Okay. Go on, man. Slur's like, guys, all right. We're really playing poorly, so I, as the Moira, I'm going to have to carry this now. Shoes Money Crew, they're back on the point. August Hungry, they don't have as many ultimates as they did before. The EMP is the big one here. Most likely going to use this into this fight and try and win it off it so they can get a bit more ultimate percentage off of the one ability use.
Let's see if that Coalescence is going to be enough of a tempo creator for Shoes Money Crew to potentially get rid of this defense from Orgless and Hungry when they do come in. They do have wall hacks. Ooh, big EMP. Going to get 4 members of Shoes Money Crew. Are Orgless and Hungry going to be able to follow that up? As of right now, Kagasa is going to be the only one to go down. This is still not over for Shoes Money Crew, as it's a 5v5 right now. Who's going to be able to take the lead in this fight? Is the Primal Rage the move that's going to do it? As of right now, there's going to be some displacement into the backline, but not a lot of effectiveness, unless that displacement is the goal there. Shoes Money Crew now only on that sound barrier, going to be coming up on that EMP. Orgless and Hungry has the proximity mines, which is going to cut the field in half, or the objective in half, for Shoes Money Crew, unless they do clear those out. Nice headshot coming from Berglund is going to get him closer to those wall hacks, but still not a lot of action happening on the objective. Now we got an EMP coming from the other side, also getting 4, but with Leo already down, Orgless and Hungry are in a terrible spot, and with 89%, Shoes Money Crew are on the brink of winning Ilios.
Yeah, 92%. And there was a short window of time where they had the opportunity to win that fight as soon as Gustav went down to a lovely shot from Berglund. Unfortunately, August Hungry, they just don't commit like they should do, and they will lose from that. I think Gustav getting back in the fight there was a massive misplay from August Hungry. He should not have had the opportunity to get back there in time to get that soundbar and save his team.
Well, Blake, I actually feel like Orgless and Hungry, that was kind of a story of missed opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Even though they got picked off, Tom got picked off on Mercy twice in a row. That first time, it didn't really matter as they were able to come back and defend that point. But in the end, Orgless kind of challenging Shoes Money Crew, I think, more than people expect. But we're seeing a lot of the same mistakes that they've been making all trials so far.
Yeah, I think Shoes Money Crew are very used to playing against the triple support, triple tank kind of composition. Now August Hungry, I like what they're doing. They haven't had much success with triple tank, triple support. They've played things like quad tank. Now they're pulling out the full DPS compositions here. And yeah, you're right. It is challenging Shoes Money Crew, but at the end of the day, Shoes Money Crew know what they do. They know what they do best, and they're playing it slowly and carefully. And that's what I'm liking about this right now. It's liking what I'm seeing.
Well, to piggyback off of that, I think a really good example was the complete and utter lack of panic they had after going 99-0 on that first round, right? It's like they didn't care. And for some reason, even me, even the way that it was going, I was like, I don't think this is over, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like you knew for some reason Shoes Money Crew was not out of that yet.
They had to hold on, and I think that first point comes down to Barbecue once again. The fact that he was able to find the Mercy and then afterwards pick up a kill as well as, like, that's a very insane play towards the end of a map. And yeah, it needs you to be calm to make those plays. So Barbecue, very well done to him. I think that if we see more of that during this series, those clutch plays could be what forces Orgless out of even a single win during the series.
Oh man, that would be, actually getting a win. If Orgless and Hungry getting a win is bad news for Shoes Money Crew. if we look to the overall standings, everyone behind Young and Beautiful, you're sitting pretty at top. The only undefeated team so far.
Beautiful. So.
Yeah, oh, look at that, and Young. And so that feels weird. Reason. And so 3 teams are 3-1 going into this matchup. And so Shoes Money Crew know that every map counts. And right now they're doing a really good job onto Ilios. If there were a map that Orgless might take, do you think it's going to be this second one on Hybrid?
No. Unfortunately, I think the best chances probably were on Control there, where it affords you the ability to play a little bit more of different compositions where you can do it, especially on Well, I'd say is a great place for you to do it, because you bring out the DPS, you bring out these very mobile tank, right? The point is actually rather large on Well. You have to make your way all the way across, and the fact that Kegasai was able to control so much space really did affect the way Shoes Money Crew had to play. Here now we're going into something that's much more conventional, where there are set spaces you need to hold, especially on Numbani, where we've got to hold on the high ground. And this is another thing though, very quickly, is JK is a monster on this Winston, and that's definitely what Shoes Money Crew are going to be playing on first.
Yeah, I think JK has a couple highlights on Reinhardt, but his Winston is definitely, the 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 Italian kiss, right? The wow, it's so good at times, and he's a newer player coming onto this team as well, and that's actually something that I've been very impressed with Shoes Money Crew is how they've really gotten these new players into that team. It's almost like they've been playing a long time. One person and one matchup that I actually want to talk about before this round goes, Blake, is the Somber matchup that we saw last time. Are we going to see it again this time around? Because honestly, it was pretty close on those EMPs.
It was pretty damn close on the EMPs. I do think that Polly had the slight advantage there. His hacks were much more impactful. He pretty much controlled Henningsen the entire basically control maps. There was nothing he could do on that hammer. He was perma-hacked. Wasn't able to get as much value, create space for his DPS, which is probably why you saw those small windows of opportunity pass by, because Henningsen wasn't there to make the engage for them because he was hacked up. So I do believe Polly has the, let's say, the advantage here. Unfortunately, neither team is going to be playing it. I doubt this is the comp that Orgless and Hungry are going to run out with. But one thing that is interesting, Boop, is the Mei.
Oh, the Mei. Mouse is on that Mei. We know how effective the walls are, but there's actually an igloo possibility if they do end up losing point A, and that's when you use the wall. The payload will be contested. We might have some more time. As of right now, we're going to see how effective those blizzards and those walls can be from Mouse, because Mei, one of the only characters in the game that can actively play for the other team with those walls, so they got to be good. Orgless and Hungry going to be rocking that Pharaoh once again. They're liking this Wrecking Ball. Like you said, this is a team that has struggled with goats in the past, and I like that they're really leaning into the fact that, hey, there's a little less pressure now. We've lost a couple games, and so let's really get this experience going and practice this type of comp, because we can, right? Shoes Money Crew is going to get hacked. Gustav is not going to have that amped up available for them, and as of right now, they're
already.
Yeah, Orgless and Hungry already do have one tick. Shoes Money Crew not really sure exactly how to handle Orgless and Hungry's positioning around this point so far. The thing about having this many DPS is where do you look, and then you're going to leave yourself vulnerable where the places that you aren't. But Shoes Money Crew are learning how to deal with that, and that's going to be on Slur, who has got a couple kills already. Shoes Money Crew all down to 5. Orgless and Hungry down to 2. This defense is going to happen, but it was a little interesting there for a second.
Yeah, slowly but surely, they will find the picks off there. I think they were just waiting for Orgless and Hungry to make their way into the point, and I think it's a really well play from Slur there towards the end. Must have been a big right click that he hit onto Henningsen to drop him very, very low. Orgless and Hungry know they have to switch this up, and going on the Reinhardt, I can only imagine they will be going through stairs up onto the high ground, try and take that away from Shoes Money Crew. Unfortunately, Winston and D.Va have such good control of high ground because they can split from one place to the next with the big mobility that is on their side.
Ooh, Slur's gonna pop that Transcendence. Yeah. Maybe he was getting pressured, but that was very, very early. Polly's gonna go down, and this is exactly why you wanted that Transcendence. Polly might still be on the field if that was available. Shoes Money Crew still do have 2 ultimates. The Primal Rage is available. This is an even fight pretty much right now on the objective, as Orgless and Hungry are gonna be trading these things out, but in the end, Shoes Money Crew on that defense will hold, but there is a possibility Orgless are gonna come back with 6 before Shoes Money Crew have their full 6.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Shoes Money Crew is what I wanted to see from earlier is make the switch off to the Sombra. You kind of need it right now, and not anymore, I guess, so to speak, because they switched it up. But playing the Sombra, they had a lot of success with it before. 80% on Mouse already. He's almost got that EMP, and that could shut down Orgless Hungry. It's on down to Ruby, the new player, to hit a big Transcendence here.
And so we do have Rally for Shoes Money Crew. Orgless and Hungry are going to get EMP to next year. Oh my goodness, 4 of the 5 members getting hacked. This is a lost fight at this point. But the thing about EMP though, Blank, is I remember Hex saying this way back in the day. It's just kind of like, I'm going to win this fight now, right? You're not going to have it next time. So is Orgless coming in with another opportunity? We do see a ton of ults on Shoes Money Crew though.
It's a massively efficient fight for them though, right, Boo? Because they use the EMP, they get the Transcendence out, they still win the fight. And that comes down to excellent target calling from Shoes Money Crew. They immediately remove Bergman from the fight, and from there it's very easy for Shoes Money Crew just to run them over. Now with 4 ultimates on board, it's going to be very surprising to see Shoes Money Crew lose this next fight unless Henningsen hits a massive Earth Shatter.
There is a self-destruct hunting online for Orgless and Hungry, but that's half glass full thinking, right? It's like you got 2 ultimates because that's what you have. You have to use them here too because we are in last fight territory with 33 seconds left, and Shoes Money Crew are going to have 5 ultimates because look
another EMP already.
Going to build an EMP in one fight. EMP every single member of Orgless and Hungry, which opens up the self-destruct for Barbie. Clip that. I'm going to watch that. That was perfect. That's how you use EMP self-destruct.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that later on tonight. Don't worry, guys. Me and Boop are gonna analyze that to buggery. Don't you worry. Shoes Money Crew, though, they have both supported ultimates online. There is no way they lose this next fight. Rally to open it up. Obviously, you might have the graviton from Berglund, but Leodez has to combo here, and he has to do it now.
Yeah, overtime has started, so the wick is ending. Are they going to be able to make it to the point? So they're going to have to go on here one by one because they have to. Graviton Surge is going to come out. The Transcendence from Slur is going to try to counter that up. Shoes Money Crew, who are losing members right now. They have lost the Mech and and Barbie, actually, so just one member so far. So this is a 5v5 on the objective. Is another huge EMP gets the 5 remaining members of Orgless and Hungry Mouths. Hey, why were you ever on May, my friend? This is what you were meant to play.
I think Orgless Hungry may have just unleashed a beast that they didn't necessarily want to happen. They were like, we'll play DPS, we'll play Sombra. And Matt's like, wait a minute, I can also play Sombra. So this is nice to see. His ult generation is quite phenomenal, to say the least. But more than that, he knows exactly when he wants to drop these EMPs. He waited out the Transcendence as well as, and then he drops in, removes all the shielding from Ruby, removes him from the fight shortly afterwards. There's no Discord orb. JK Lol can start to play a lot more aggressively in these fights without having to worry about that 30% extra damage coming out from the Discord. Now we're coming into attack. It's Shoes Money Crew. They've got to take one tick and a bit. I can't imagine this is going to be too difficult for them.
Well, you know, imaginations can run wild, Blake. So if there was a world where it might be difficult, what comp is Orgless and Hungry running? Or okay, let me throw you a bone actually, because I don't think it's about comp at this point, right? What is something they need to start doing to challenge Shoes Money Crew at this point? Because it was pretty challenging between these two teams. They were even in the first round of Ilias, but not really since.
I think really here for Orgless and Hungry, what I've been seeing so far is that supports have been a little bit out of position at times. The front line's not doing really enough at this point. Projector barriers are used a little bit too frequently and not getting massive efficiency out of them. I think the tank line is definitely a place where Orgless Hungry are starting to fail a little bit. I think they need to bring that up, play much more tight together like Shoes Money Crew. Barbecue and JK Lol hardly go anywhere without holding hands, okay? That is what you want to see from your main tank and your off tank.
Man, I used to be a preschool teacher, and that would be awesome when we were walking across the street. But they're going to be walking across Numbani here in a second. Orgless and Hungry going to be rocking May with Berglund as well. And you're going to see this wall pop up. If they do take stairs, it's a really great way to isolate someone with that wall. But I don't see Reinhardt on a Shoes Money Crew attack, so they can kind of come up when or how they want to. There's a little bit more mobility involved with that Winston.
Yeah, unfortunately, the wall doesn't really do too much once you're on the point, and with high mobility heroes like this, they just go past it.
Yeah, they're going to do exactly that, Blake, as Berglund trying to pepper in damage with those right clicks, and the first kill is going to be for Orgless and Hungry. Tom getting first blood there, so this is a 6v5, but not for very long, as Shoes Money Crew going to get 2 return kills. So Shoes Money Crew have a numbers advantage, and they only need a tick and a half, and it's going to, they're like just leaving the May at this point. They're like, you aren't necessarily doing very much for your team. Yeah, exactly. We're just going to leave you alone until we have to deal with you at this point. So she's going to get her own private time with the rest of Shoes Money Crew there. And then the Wrecking Ball's coming in. This is what you call miracle. You want a miracle stall here. Shoes Money Crew definitely in the driver's seat.
Yeah, for sure. Slur just running around the point right now. If he got Ruby off the map now, I'd be very surprised. Oh, he got himself. Overconfident.
Yeah, that's what you call karma, my friends. And so all of Shoes Money Crew laughing about that, I'm sure, as they do end up taking Numbani pretty easily, going up 2-0, doing exactly what they need to do, getting closer to that 4-0 map score.
Boopy, can we just have a conversation about, has this been one map or 2 maps?
I mean,
one.
I know, is time just going faster? Is that what's happening?
Shoes Money Crew just speeding up a little bit for us. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Exactly. It's kind of like when you like the real Beyblade, right? You just unleash and it just goes, right? But goes. Exactly. Man, there's something so fun about just seeing those things just hit each other. It's just so cathartic, right? But something that is I am not seeing from Orgless is just that team play that we're seeing from Shoes Money Crew. It's almost like they're lacking that inherent communication of knowing whose job is what and not having to communicate that out to the rest of the team, because they look a little discombobulated for sure.
Yeah, and totally on board with that fact. I think Shoes Money Crew look just a lot more collective, I guess, collected. They know exactly what they want to employ and when they want to do it. The dives are very clean, whereas Orgless, they're running with a composition like they play the Mayday, they bank on JK playing the Reinhardt. I don't know why you'd bank on it in the first place, seeing as Numbani, the spawn is so close, right? You can just go back and switch. That's exactly why they played Hammond and Sombra at the beginning. I like the Shoes Money Crew do play the Sombra, but Sombra is more used for scouting, right? As well as the Hammond. So they go out, they see what they're playing, they go back,